Hello, Charles. How are you on this Trent trifecta Thursday? How about that? Yes, the triple
That's
T.
right. And that's what I'm going to be hitting today.
Oh, you're going to be hitting some trifectas today, eh? I had one yesterday at the very end that saved my derriere, as they say.
Hey,
That last race. Yeah, but, that's
as
the
long as
idea.
you get saved, right?
Well, that's the idea. But, behind what we're doing now with the $100 challenge, that my betting philosophy has always been when I'm gambling at the track, this is probably a conversation we should have someday, why horse racing betting is actually better than betting football or basketball or any of that sort of stuff. And, football, typically against the line, you're going to get minus 110 if you take the points or give the points. That's like taking an even money favorite over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, all the time.
To get 3-1 or plus 300, you need a team that's given up 6 or 7 points. I mean, you gotta predict an upset.
Yeah, and then you got to take the money line on that, and then they got to win outright. And it's a lot different than betting sports.
Good morning, Michael. How are things out East Texas, right, or West Texas? I know in the Texas. Barry, how you doing today? Good morning as well. Nice to see you. You hit some nice trifectas yesterday with your guys' picks. Thank you. Hopefully, we can do a little bit more of the same today, Charles. Let's get before we get going to that. Last night, Sean and Jamie had on a fun guest. See, a lot of personality in Eddie Gerardo. I don't know if you had a chance to catch that. I was watching it. Definitely a funny guy. You want some good laughs? Make sure you head over there. They're going to be off next week, so back after the first of the year, we're all going to – the pick shows will still go, but the Horse Center folks are going to get some holiday rest. So we're going to have a really big year of 2023 in terms of content. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to today's card at the wonderful South Florida track. I don't know what the temperature is there, but we're supposed to get a foot of snow. It's going to be 0 degrees here and within 48 hours.
It sounds like we're all going to die. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds horrible for sure.
Yeah.
So I envy the folks in South Florida, man. Let me tell you, my folks still live in Tampa, and I saw that the temperature down there is supposed to get close to 40 degrees. They're not going to know what to do.
Oh, are they going to be okay?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They don't have.
The iguanas are going to die.
No, they'll survive. Those cold-blooded animals, they'll just freeze and then come back to life. You say that, we're getting off topic here, but I saw this thing on the internet where when it gets really cold, alligators and stuff, they stick their noses out of the water and they freeze. They literally freeze, and then they wait to thaw out in the spring. Can you imagine?
Oh, well, I think that's amazing.
Nature always is indeed amazing. All right, well, let's see if we can be amazing ourselves today, Charles. That's the goal for the last thoroughbred in the U.S. show before we head off to our Christmas break as well. 1 mile on the turf. It's a maiden claiming $3,500. Charles, I don't know about you, but when I was going through this card, I was like, oh, man, why can't it be like a holiday card just packed? But no, it's a lot of maiden claiming, a lot of tough races in here, I felt like. What about you?
Yeah, I thought there was, a lot of tough races, or at least a 3-horse race that you can't pick a horse out of 3. At least it narrowed it down in a couple races like that. But, overall tough. All
right. So our way to the winner's circle worksheet. Yeah, the only place you're going to get some of this stuff is here. First race has a few of the scratches on the day. 2 is scratched, 6 is scratched. I should note that the turf is considered a good, so it looks like they're running on the turf today. The track is, I think, listed as fast, so that's a positive. The E-horses, if you want to understand what we're looking at, they go wire to wire. EP can go wire to wire, or usually right in the shadow of the leaders, no more than 2 lengths off at the quarter-mile marker. Pressure horses don't go wire to wire, but they're shadow riders as well. PCs can pressure the leader and then or close, and the closers obviously close. This race, there really isn't any early speed in here, Charles. It looks to me like the 8 horse is the one. I don't really know if this is a left arrow horse or not. There's just not a lot of pace here, and of the horses that are in here, it has the most pace. 5 horse is one of the few class, I think the only class dropper in here. Also has the best late pace in the bunch, and we don't know what the 4 is going to bring to the table, but we do know what Charles thinks about his horses. He's about to share it with us.
Yeah, I do believe that the 8 is probably the speed of the race, but I don't think he's really going to be super happy up there on the front end. So I'm going to go with the 3 horse here. This horse ran third last time out. You got a hot jockey in the last 7 days. This horse could sit a little bit closer than normal for a closer, and this horse is bred very well. My second pick here is the 5. This is the dropper. Adds blinkers. Hot jockey in the last 7 days. Back on turf. So that's a plus for that horse. My third choice here is the 4. Solid works here for this horse. Jockey gets 15% overall. Trainer gets 20% when he goes to maiden claiming. And then my price horse, which would be the front running 8 horse, probably will hang on for the gimmicks. He's actually a dropper too, but not by much. And ran third last time out.
I am going to start off with the 4 horse in the first race. I'm going to take a flyer. I was going to take a couple first-time starters, but one of them scratched out. So I'm just going to go with the 4, Bet the House. I like that December 4th work. I don't really think there's a lot to beat in here. Number 3, Always Royal. A big improvement in the second race, and it was the first race on turf. It was the top last race speed figure, but this trainer here is 1 for 20, second off the claim, and 0 for 13 on second grass race. It kind of really hard to back that, although in our 1,000 simulations, using speed numbers only, it does catch the one that's the most likely to win. It looks like it should go off about 8-5 are the fair odds. The 8 horse here is my third choice and also the second favorite according to the 1,000 simulations. And 1,000 simulations of early speed, it sure looks to me like the 8's going to get on the lead. But the thing is, this horse is who this horse is. If you look at the speed numbers, they're almost the same, like 1 or 2 point difference. So it's the Dennis Green horse. It is who we think it is.
That's right.
And then finally, number 5, Turf Accountant. This one's the only maiden special weight dropper in the field. Did run a little bit of a Z pattern last time around. Been decently bet, just hasn't shown up yet. Maybe that biggest class drop in horse racing is the difference today. What's your bets for here?
Well, I have an ice cold 3-5 exacta, and then I'm doing a daily double with the 3 to the 7 in the next leg.
All right. And for me, I'm going to do, again, I don't have a key horse in here at all. Just a little trifecta in here, 50-cent trifecta, 3-4-8 over to 3-4. Somebody's got to finish second with the 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 8. That's my go-to bet when I really don't have something I want to be keying around or betting against, which is going to be the theme of my next bet in race number 2. So race number 2, Charles, is a 5 furlong race on the all-weather track. We saw plenty of those yesterday. Optional claiming for $35,000. The purse is $39 grand. 5 furlongs on the all-weather Topeka course. Early speed, post positions tend to be fair. If you're looking for early speed, according to our 1,000 simulations of early pace, the 4-horse Face Abarrio might be the one that gets the lead. If not, Marley Luck is the one that's likely to challenge for that spot. Let's see if our way to the winner's circle agrees with that assessment. So we have a little bit more recency bias here. The 4 and the 6 are scratched. Look at all but the 2 here have some similar early pace, late pace figures. This is going to be a competitive race. It looks like, down the 5 horses, 3 of them are going to try to fight for the lead. It could give the 2 and the 8 a good chance to have a nice race.
Your chart here is totally opposite from the race 1. I mean, you look at it, it's just flipped. It's a mirror image.
Yeah, they are different, exactly different. The way you picked the same, or how did you think about this one?
Well, I did kind of pick. I'm going with the speed here. I like the 7. The 7 here has speed, of course. The trainer gets 27% on the all-weather track, which is excellent percentage. Ran second last time out. This is the second time after a layoff. So this horse should be knocking on the door big time. My second pick here is the 5. This horse has that tactical speed, could sit right off of them. Well bet last time out. Trainer gets 13% when it's 46 plus days off. So you got a fresh horse there. And then the 2 horses, my third choice here. He won last time out. Well bet the last 2 times. So this horse is ready to rock and roll. And then my price horse today is the 1. He drops today. He does have some speed. Just toss out the last race, and he puts him right with these horses.
So Michael Watkins in race number 2 looks like he likes the one horse here, and that one is Christensen. It says here that when I ran the simulation, Mike, 30-1 are the fair odds. I hope he
So
hits for you at a good price. I have
that's my price horse. So there you go.
You have him in your price source. And Flash Score
Yeah.
wants to know, Charles, who is your horse that you think has the best chance to win on the entire card today?
That'll be coming up in the let me see the third race, next race.
Yeah, see, I'm going to completely disagree with you on that in a minute, but
That's okay.
all right. So you're going to do a pick 4 here. Before we get to Charles's pick 4, in race 2, I like the 5 horse as my top choice, Grand Bay. It's the lone P horse. Should get a good trip behind a lot of speed and has a very good late pace advantage. 8 points over the next closest horse, by the way I calculate. Number 7, Marley Luck, just missed in the last race with the top last race speed figure, although its resume says it's likely to regress a little bit here. But if he smokes him, and if he moves forward at all off that last race, we'll smoke this field. Number 2, Classy Boy, lone closer. All the rest want to go fast or be close to the front. And then National Unity, the 3 horse, does have the ability to get to the front and maybe an opportunity to stay there today. Charles, walk us through your pick 4, and then I'll tell you about my bet, which will foreshadow the next race.
Okay, well, my pick 4 here is that I'm going to single the 7 here in this race, and then I'm going to have my single in the next race. So I have 2 singles back to back. And then I'm going in the third leg. I'm taking my 4 picks, and then I'm hitting the all button in the last leg of it because I do believe that it has a chance of some big price horses coming in there.
I do think that the 5 and the 7 are the best 2 horses in race number 2. I'm going to do a double with the 5 and the 7, and then in the next leg, I'm tossing out that 4 completely, Charles. I think it's a false favorite and it's going to get beat. So I'm hoping to catch a price on the end.
Did you hit your head this morning, like when you got out of the shower or something?
Did I hit my head out of the showers? Yeah, I didn't take a shower yet, Charles.
That's
why I have a hat on.
I forgot it's not Saturday yet.
That's my little secret. When I didn't take a shower, I have a hat on. Too busy getting ready for the morning. Plus, I did a little bit of exercise on the treadmill last night. Why does 35, 40 minutes on the treadmill feel like 4 hours, man? It's a life mystery. All right. Race number 3 is a 6.5 furlong maiden claiming race for $12,500. And Charles is going to stake his life on a horse here. That's an even money favorite. And looking at 6.5 furlongs, the profile of a winner favors horses with tactical speed. Post positions 1 through 7 are fair. Get a little bit of a bonus if you wear an 8 or out. That doesn't come into factor here today. In race number 3, we have 3 first-time starters, the 2, the 3, well, 1 first-time starter, the 2. The 3 and the 5, I give them never close designations. They haven't shown anything yet. If they beat us, that's horse racing. I'm not even going to consider them. Over here, the 1 horse, Charles, does have a little bit of early speed all off to the left by itself. Also has the best combination of early speed, late speed. This 4 horse, the one that you like, Charles, is going to sit right here in the middle. So now you can go through and tell us why this is the horse of the day, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Okay. Well, like your little numbers there off to the side, the 1 is the speed. Yeah, you're correct. He is the speed. But today, the 4, he drops in class, but they add the blinkers today to this horse. There's the key to this whole race. It's as easy as ABC, as his name is. The second after a layoff.
Did you stay up all night thinking about that one or what?
No. I just came up with it right now.
Well, you should have at least sung it like Michael Jackson.
Oh, I should have, huh? This is the second after a layoff here for this horse. So this is the perfect time for this horse.
Did you see that first one before the layoff?
Yeah, well, yeah, not so good, but it's okay.
Not so good. 8th of 8 by 37.
It's okay.
Lengths.
It's okay. This is how they come up with to add the blinkers. He was looking around for all his friends. So,
but he hadn't done that in any prior race. So
yeah,
what was different about that last one?
It's okay. It's all right. He's going to tear him up today. The 1 is going to get beat by that horse coming around the quarter pole by the quarter pole. The 1 is dropping in class also, but was bet well bet last time out. Has a hot jockey for the last 7 days. And then my third pick here is the 7. Tactical cuts back today in distance. Jockey gets 17%. And then my price horse here is the 6. He ran third last time out, drops, and he's got tactical speed.
All right, Charles. Well, I think it makes 0 sense to bet a 1-to-1 morning line horse at this level coming off of its last effort. Like I said, 8th of 8 by 37 lengths. Nothing inspiring in there. Nothing inspiring in the workouts afterwards. Maybe the blinkers make a difference. I'm guessing that the trainer is just trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with the horse, throwing a dart against the wall and seeing if the blinkers are the answer. So at maiden 16, I'm betting against the morning line favorite. I think it's the only smart bet you can make in this race. Number 1, Mouse Fast, is the lone E-horse, as we saw on our way to the winner's circle worksheet. Maybe better in career start number 2, which is a 22% angle for trainer Jose D'Angelo. Number 6, Say X, did run the top last race speed figure. When you look at the race internals, they were better from the beginning to the middle to the end. And that was the first race after a little bit of a break. So looking for some improvement here in race number 2. I'm going to go with the 7 horse in third, Discreetly Thrifty, another making the second start off of a layoff, ran a Z pattern in its last race, and that's when the early pace is up here. The second part of the race, the horse kind of tails off a little bit and then comes back to life. So a second wind in sports lingo. I think one of those 3 is going to have to get to the 4, or I'm going to have 2 losing bets in a row. Easy as ABC, even money morning line. Good friend Pete Aiello is not known for the best morning lines. This is a class dropper, but I think, man, it's really hard to back.
How much is he dropping in class?
How much is he dropping in class? I think after you finished 8 by 37, that's an indication to me that the trainer is not confident either.
You got to drop in class, and the drop in class and adding the blinkers are so crucial in this position.
All right, so he's dropping from maiden optional claiming 50,000 to maiden 12.5 after finishing 8 by 37. That rings to me, ding, 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 ding. Man, I want to sell this horse. Charles, please show up to the track with your 12.5 so that you can take this boat off my hands.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't buy the horse. I didn't say that. But I say he's just going to crush him because of that drop alone.
Well, I put him in there for Charles. Bernie, why even in my picks? He's just in there as the 4th pick. I'm actually not going to bet him. So when you ask me why do I have him in my picks, I actually don't.
He wants to cover himself. That's what you want to do.
Well, I don't get any credit for it even if it comes in for Charles. Because my bet in race number 2 is a double 5-7 with all except the 4 in race number 3. And in race number 3, my wager is every horse but the 4 with the 3-5 in the next leg. So I actually, Bernie, did not include him in my bets. But the other horses behind it really aren't that good either in a maiden claiming 12.5. What do you think, Charles? If there's one race you want to win today, brother, you can lose the other 8. If you win this one, you're going to go to the weekend feeling good, aren't you?
I'm not going to be just going feeling good. It's just then you're going to have to eat crow the next day. No, I really do believe that
for making the smart bet. That's the smart betting against that horse is the smart bet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a smart bet. I'm just saying that in this type of race, when you've got a dropper like that and blinkers, the horse does have some talent. He's going to crush these horses.
Well, we'll find out in a little bit, right?
Hey, your 1,000 simulations. Look what the odds they put him at. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it did put him at those low odds.
That's ridiculous. I couldn't believe that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a horse that should go off at 1-2,
according
to this 1,000 simulations. So the 1,000 simulations are there. I'm just betting against that.
I know. I mean, the computer can't be 100% correct either, but
no. Hey, and it also the 1,000 simulations doesn't have any recency bias. It takes into account all of its recent races, whereas I'm doing the qualitative side, the human element, where I am looking at the recency bias and saying that last race, that one scares me off. No way I would take a horse finishing 8th by 38 as an even money, or maybe down to 1-2 by the time the gates open.
But it took the 8th by losing by that much in its consideration too. It did not add that it's adding blinkers. It did not add that it's dropping in class.
Well, we'll find out when it's over. I mean, I'm going to bet against him 1-2 in that spot.
Okay.
And I think that's the smart thing to do. All right. So now we're off to race number 4, right?
Yeah.
And race number 4 is a 5.5 furlong all weather maiden claiming 20,000. Here we go again. I'm surprised you're not staking your life here too, Charles. Maiden claiming 20 grand for a purse of 28 grand. 5.5 furlongs on the all weather track. Going to find that horses that have early speed, post positions 1 through 7 are fair. You do get a little bit of a bonus if you wear the 8 or out, which does come into play today in this race. Race number 4, again, no early speed. None that really want to get to the lead and take charge and go wire to wire or shown any interest in doing it. Everybody is a pressure horse for the most part. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these wants to take the lead. Looks like the 1, the 3, the 4 are the ones that are most likely to jump to the front, each of which is dropping in class. In fact, almost all of these, with the exception of the 8, is dropping in class. 7's making the first time start. The 6 is, again, one of those never closest that I'm just going to toss out. If it beats me, it beats me. Charles, which horse do you got here in this maiden race?
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. The speed factor here, is it going to be the 3, the 5, or like you said, the 4? But I think it's going to be between the 3 and the 5 going out there in front. I have the 5 winning this race. He drops in class. Key play there's drop. Weaver gets 20% on the when he drops down 2 classes. Ran second last time out. You got a hot jockey, and last 7 days for the 5. So everything says okay on that one. And the 3 horse ran second last time out. 3 for 6 lifetime. So he hasn't had that many races either. And then the 2 horse drops today, cuts back in distance. Trainer gets 25% from maiden to maiden claimant. And then my price horse here is the 1. This horse is, I think, more of a closer than a pace horse. Yeah, solid works for the last 2 months. He's been off for 2 months, but everything looks okay on that.
Good morning, Luis Enrique. Hope everything is down nice in Venezuela. I'm sure the weather there is better than it here is in Chicago and Kentucky, and for probably 90% of the United States. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully it's a profitable day for you. I like in this race, I like the 3 horse Wildcat Star. Been off since March. I do like that December 2nd and November 25. I like those pair of workouts. If you look through how the horse starts, when it breaks from the gate, usually breaks very well. So the workouts tell me, and the history of getting out of the gates with a bunch of speed tells me it's most likely to be the pace setter. Number 5, Spicy Ginger did run the top last race speed figure. That was at Aqueduct in the last race. I love it when they run the top last race speed figure, drop in class. It's an angle that I absolutely have made a lot of money on. It's another that should compete for the lead up front at a distance that favors early speed. Number 1, Martha May Whoever, whatever. That's another that I think is going to be involved from the beginning. And looking at that December 4th and November 26th works, it's another one I think could come out of the bench and do all right. And then finally, number 7, Pomona's Bullet. Might as well give one of the first-time starters in here a shot. You don't know what you got until you know, and there really isn't much to beat in this race, in my opinion, once you get past the top 2, maybe the top 3. So I'm going to do a $1 double here, Charles. You passed with the 3-5 in this race with the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. So I do think the 3 and the 5 are the 2 to beat in here, and it looks like you agree with that.
Yeah, I do.
Which is almost scary for us, at least for me.
Well, no, I think it's more so for me.
Race 5 is a mile on the turf. Again, the turf is considered good, so it looks like they're going to run on the turf today down in Miami. It's claiming 3,500, purse of 41 grand, 3-year-olds and up. 1 mile on the turf, a profile of a winner, the type of horse that typically wins, has a little bit of early speed. Post positions for 1 through 7 play pretty evenly. There is a little bit of a bonus if you wear an 8. Ave Phoenix does fit into that category. Pace worksheet for race number 5. You know what's funny? Last night when I was doing this, I was looking at race number 1 for something, went back to look. So I ended up doing race number 1 again, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, that looks a lot like race number 1. And then on top of that, I was trying to figure out where the 4 horse was because it showed that it's going to have some early speed over here. Yeah. And the names weren't matching up. And I'm like, oh, man, I did the wrong day. I got to start all over again. I was so bummed out. And then I realized, oh, I'm on race number 1 again. What an idiot. But in any case, if you look at this, you got 3 horses that have some early speed. Everybody else is closer in here. Maybe of these closers, the one horse, the left arrow, could sneak up into the front. And the 8 horse, it looks to me like is scratched here, Charles. So I expect the speed to be able to kind of hang on in race number 5. What do you think?
Yeah, to me, it's really a 2-horse race, but I still say that the speed is going to hang on, which is the 4. Drops in class, has the speed. Brown gets 38% with first time claim after the first time claim. And you got IRAD on. So what else more do you want? You could reach in your wallet and claim this horse or the next horse, the 5 horse.
Well, you can go back and buy that 4 horse that's
No,
dropping down that they're trying to unload on people.
I would rather claim one of these 2 horses than the other one.
Oh. So
the 5
the shell of confidence is broken.
No, it's not shell of confidence. That race he's good, but nothing else. He's not good for anything else. The 5 in this race is my second choice. He'll be closing. Hot jockey the last 7 days. He was hot at the claim box. Why I say at the hot at the claim box for 2 times this year is they were by top trainers. So every one of his trainers are top trainers. So there's something there about this horse that everybody likes, and it's probably his conditions and his heart basically. And then the 3rd horse here is the 3 horse here is my 3rd choice. Another one that'll be closing. He won last time out. Trainer gets 14% with 46 plus days. And then my price horse here today in this race is the 2 horse. He drops. Trainer gets 33% with 46 plus days. That's excellent. And you get Tyler, and he's got some solid works to back up his rest.
If you haven't done so yet, please, while you're here, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on our social sites. You see scrolling down below, all the same handle, Horse Race, the number 2 day. Our Jamie and Julie put some great stuff up on TikTok, so make sure you check that out. Thank you, Julie, for the thumbs up and the love on Facebook. We also appreciate Ronald Burke and Beverly Taylor for doing the same. So if you agree, thumbs up across the social sites really help us with their algorithms. We appreciate it 1,000%. And me, I like Bordertown in race number 5. Very consistent performer. Last 3, this horse has shown some stellar late pace. And, you know, I was reflecting back on Jorge Ortiz last year at Gulfstream Park, where looked to me like he was working on patience. And it looked like he ran a lot better with closers and horses that rally. So I think you're going to see a good race out of Jose today. And he looked uncomfortable yesterday to me on the lead with a couple of horses. So I think this is a better fit for him.
You know, actually, and I don't want to criticize him too much, the last couple of months, Jose hasn't looked comfortable on any horse, really, in my opinion. But I know he's a much better rider than he's been in the last couple of months. So maybe he is just trying to figure out something.
Yeah, a new agent and stuff like that. So maybe, you know, different horses, and he's just getting accustomed to what he's working on. But I do remember last year at Gulfstream Park, he was working on patience, and I think this horse looks like a good fit for me with Jose. Mm-hmm. Number 4, Principled Stand. If not Jose, why not his brother, right? Irad.
That's right.
We'll take Irad on the lead. Everyone's, you know, when you look at the internal race numbers, Principled Stand is likely to get to the lead. Our 1,000 simulations say there's a 76% chance that Principled Stand at the quarter-mile marker will be the one to catch. It will be the one to catch. If you're going to win this race, at some point, you're going to have to pass Principled Stand. There's not a lot of speed in here either when we went through that pace worksheet. So comfortable fractions, Irad might go wire to wire. Number 2, Dominate the Moment. Dominate the Moment. I should have read that beforehand. It is the lone EP horse here. Established early on in our pace worksheet. There's not a lot of speed. Should be comfortable right behind Principled Stand. And at a decent price too. And I do like the fact that a really nice November 27th work. Then finally, number 7, Journeyman. Was a tough call for me over my left arrow horse. Just every now and then that horse pops a really big effort with excellent late pace, whereas the 1 is a really steady performer. So if you want steady, go with the 1. If you want some variability with the potential for a big race, go with the 7. That's kind of the way I looked at that race. So I went with a little bit more upside. And then Your bets, you don't have any. I am going to do a 50-cent trifecta again. 2, 4, 5 over the 4, 5 with the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. I do think one of those Ortiz brothers will finish second, Charles. They can't both win, right?
Well, they can't both win. Yeah, you're right. But I think that's those two horses are probably the top.
And and my motto has been that in terms of betting, at least much like Eddie Olczyk says, you have to have a little bit of action on every race, even a small commitment, because you might walk around lucky and you're not going to know it. And if I didn't have a trifecta on that last race yesterday, would have been a losing day for me.
Yeah.
I hope the Ortiz brothers are allowed to compete in the same races. You hate that they're allowed to compete in the same races. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of chatter about that online where folks aren't all that happy about that. But, you have to trust or hope anyway that at least they're both trying to win.
Well, I think, please tell me if I'm wrong, but I still believe there's a rule out there: a husband and wife cannot
That got
ride together.
changed because of Katie
It did get
and
changed?
Trevor McCarthy.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, at least
Okay.
in New York, it got changed. I
Okay.
don't know that it's necessarily a change across the entire country, but I know
All
because
right.
of Katie and Trevor that they went ahead and actually made those changes. Both of those are really good friends of the show. Katie came back and actually had some nice wins. So congratulations to her. We're very happy. We met them both when we went to Saratoga in the summer and their little cute baby. Good thing it looks like mom. Sorry, Trevor. But that's the old joke, but it never goes tired, does
It never does.
All right, race 6 is 1 mile. It is a maiden optional claiming, just yet another day of all optional maiden claiming races. 1 mile, the profile of a winner for 1 mile typically favors early speed. Yeah, it seems like Gulfstream's pretty much the same here. Post positions are pretty fair. 8 and out gets a little bit of a bonus. In race number 6, our 1,000 simulations say that the one horse has a 78% chance to be the one that's pulling the string when the gates open. Let's look and see if our way to the winner's circle worksheet agrees with that. Yes, indeed. The one horse has a +9 early pace advantage, meaning it could be as much as 2 lengths ahead of everybody else at the quarter-mile marker. The 2's probably a little bit of false speed, doesn't get the lead, fades away. The 4 and the 5 are going to give it a go for the first time. Charles, either one of those going to make your plays?
Well, I think the 7's going to give the 1 a little hard time on the front end. Personally, I think the 7 has some speed, but I still say the 8 is the winner in this race because he has that tactical speed. He could more or less close at the end or be very close and then punch it through. Well bet last time out. You get IRAD again on this horse. Second after a layoff, so this horse is going to be very tough. And then I have the 7. I believe his speed will get him at least there, at least second, if not win. Well bet all 3 races. You got a hot jockey trainer combo. And you know what? Go to your wallet. This might be another one to claim.
Oh, but not that 4 that you're betting your life on.
Yeah, for the future, this one, you put it on the turf. I think this is a turf horse.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4 horse here is my third choice. Maybe another good claim here. Solid works, well bred, bred for speed up to a mile. Dam has 7 winners out of 8 starters, and 3 of them are stakes horses. That could be a claim in the future for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then my price horse here is the 5. Solid works, bred for the turf though, going long. And Dam has 4 winners from 4 starters, so you can't fault that horse.
So Mike Watkins once again proving that great minds think alike. Another axiom that has nothing but truth to it, because in race number 6, he likes the 7, as do I. The 7 horse is Triple Start. If he can run back to his first 2 races, this one is going to look easy when it's over. If not, that one horse, Devil's K, has that early pace advantage. It's going to stretch out for the first time. And a lot of time especially horses that should be able to get to the lead without much competition, when they stretch out, that lead gets even bigger. So the only question is going to be fractions for Devil's K. If it can run reasonable fractions, doesn't go out in 21 and, and lose the race in the opening quarter, could get to the front and be very difficult to catch. Number 8, 5150. Was a favorite last time out, got beaten. So I'm not the biggest fan of money burners, But trainer Luis Ramirez does rebound at 23%. And this is another horse that puts together very consistent performances. In fact, according to our 1,000 simulations, Charles, it's another horse that should be closer to 1-2 odds. So 3-1 looks to me like it's a pretty much an overlay for what its simulated 1,000 race odds say it should be. And then closing it out with number 4, Change or Dursani. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but this one could be the best of the two first-time starters. And I think when you put a jockey that has a high win rate on it, like Tyler Gaffalione, it's a hint that they think that this horse has a chance to win here, Charles. Now, with you as a trainer, if you didn't think you had a chance to win a debut, are you going to pull a good jockey in and put him on a horse that might disappoint and then have a chance that he might not take mounts like this for you again?
Well,
or
if you're
going to get the best jockey you can, and that's that.
Well, if you're a big time trainer, it wouldn't matter to me who I put on really. But if you're a small time trainer, you don't go asking favors from a big jockey to ride a horse that you believe doesn't have a shot, because a small time trainer has only a small window to get the great riders to ride for them. So it just depends on who the trainer actually is. But I agree on that aspect a little bit.
So in this race, the trainer is Michael Maker. So I mean, he's
a big time trainer. He can put whoever he wants on it.
For sure, I agree with that. So you got a lot of stuff coming in here. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what these languages are, and I can't read them. So maybe if you could use Google Translate and then put them in the comments with Google Translate, I'd appreciate it, and we'll be able to respond. All right. So for all I know, these guys are calling this 4-letter word, making fun of us somewhere else in the world, right? Which would be funny. I think that would be fantastic. Anyway,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so am I. I get called 4-letter words in English anyway, so what the hell difference does it make what language it is? All right, race number 7 is 7 furlongs. Optional.
Oh, did you go through the bets? We have to go through
the
bets.
Yes. I forgot. Yeah. See that? That's old timers. Go ahead, man. What you got?
Yeah, that's okay. I do have a pick 4 here. I'm starting with my top 2 picks here, the 7 and the 8. Going with my top 3 picks in the second leg. Now, the third leg is my key leg. I really like the 8th race for a trifecta. I believe this race is going to pay big money. So the third leg is my big trifecta race, and then the final leg I took my top 3 horses.
So it looks like your pick 4 in race number 6 is the 7 and the 8. In race number 7, the 1, the 2, and the 3. In race number 8, the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 9. And again, Charles kind of foreshadowing that he's going to have a trifecta in that race. And then to close it out in race number 9 with the 1, 2, and 7. I just went with a trifecta here. I do think the 1 and the 7 are the best 2 horses in here. So I'm going to put them on top with 3 horses in the middle, the 1, the 7, and the 8. And then the 1, 2, 4, 7, 8 to close out for third place in my trifecta. All right, now we get to move forward to race number 7, Charles, which is a 7 furlong optional claiming 62.5 for a purse of $72,000. And just in case, let me pull this up here real quick. So sometimes people want, early on when you're just starting to read the past performances and it's an optional claiming, some folks aren't too sure how to tell which horses are in for a price, Charles. So when you're looking through the past performances, and of course it's gonna do this to me, isn't it, Charles? I should have looked before I did.
Matter of fact, yeah, I think it is. I don't think there is one in here for the claim.
So typically, if there's one in here for a claim, in this spot right here, when you're looking at it right here, it will show you that the horse is in for a claim because you'll see the price tag right there. So that's how you know if a horse is in for a claim or not. But of course, like when I ask my dog to do a trick in front of strangers, I'm left out to dry, Charles.
Oh, well.
Looked at that first, but hey, you know what the hell? Live TV, live YouTube TV here at Horse Racing Radar. This is a well-balanced race. You have some horses that want to be on the front, some that can pressure and close. This sort of setup typically, in my opinion, goes to the best horse and probably the best ride. If you want some speed, the 6 horse, which is a price, has a 7-point advantage through the first half a mile. Probably going to be challenged by the 3 horse. I do like this 2 horse sitting in here as that lone pressure horse. If they go too fast, can be patient. If they go too slow, can move its way forward and has a very strong late pace advantage. So the 2 is likely to get the best trip in this race, Charles. And do you see it that way?
He might, and I would have to say this: the 2 is probably on paper the best horse, but he's been off a year, and that's the only hesitation. That's why he's getting my second pick. I'm going with the 1 horse as my first pick. That is the only reason why I got those switched. The 1 horse ran second last time out. Maker gets 16% with 46 plus days. The horse is 3 for 5 at this distance. So I think this horse is going to be closing at the end and should be picking up the pieces. The 2, like I just
So
said,
it looks like Mike Watkins agrees with you here too. He says race number 7, the 1 horse pace figures say there is speed. Set the horse for the late run up.
That's right. That's how I see it. The 2, if he would have had at least 1 race in him, I would be picking the 2 here. But the horse drops in class. We're talking grade 1s. This guy's been running in grade 1s. You got Irad Todd combo. Solid works though. And this is the prep for probably bigger races. He's just going to use this race, and he's probably going to go right back into grade 3s, probably at a longer distance also.
So when you're off for a year, you come back in a race like this, you don't put your horse in for a price, and if it happens to perform, you're going to get paid and cover a lot of the barn expenses. Is this really a test to see kind of where their horse is at?
Yeah, it's probably like the last workout, as you would consider it, the last workout before a much major race. And at this distance, 7 furlongs, if he's going to go a mile and 1/8 next time out, this is the perfect workout for him. So the 3 is my third choice here. He has some speed, drops today, the hot jockey in the last 7 days. He does try dirt today, so that's something different for him. And then my price horse is the 7. He does have some speed to go with them. He fits here with these horses, and the trainer gets 18% when he's 46 plus days.
All right. I like in race number 7, excuse me. I'm going to give that 2 horse Dr. Post. I know he's been off for a long, long time, but if he runs to his graded stakes level, as you mentioned, he has a couple of grade 3 wins. I don't know that he's got any higher than that. The workouts are okay, but any hint at his past form, and this horse is an easy winner in here. Number 4, Paco's Pico. It's funny. I was looking. The first thing I looked to see is if Paco Lopez is riding that horse, because there'd be no you couldn't bet Paco's Pico, but Paco went board, but he's not. At Gulfstream Park, 8 times out, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. So clearly likes the track, likes the distance, 2 times out, 1 win, 1 second. And a horse that was better with its race internals last time out through the entirety of the race. And what I like about that, and this is another angle that I really like, is when a horse runs a really good race and it shows improvement over its other races with their pace figures being better than they were in the prior start, and then coming back with a really nice workout sense. So, I won't look like my dog trying to do tricks in front of folks if I bring this one up, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. So we're in race number 7 now, right, Charles?
Yep.
So race number 7 with the 4 horse here. When I'm looking at the past performances, and you see with the 4 horse here, let me use the highlighter here. So 2 races back, it ran 85, a 93, and an 85. The next time out, internally, it ran, let me get a little different color in here now. It ran a 96, a 102, huge mid move, and a 93. So all the race internals improved from the previous start. And then it ran last on November the 19th. And since then, it had a pretty good workout. 3rd fastest of 28, 48 in 4 furlongs. I love that combination when I'm handicapping. That's a big sign to me that this horse is definitely in good form, and I'm expecting a good race. And now Paco's Pico will finish last by 38 lengths like your 4 horse did, Charles.
You're just harping on that. You know what? I'm just going to let you go now. I'll let you bury yourself.
Yeah, that horse is going to win by 38 lengths now. I've pretty much established that. And then after that 4 horse for me in race number 7, I'm going to go with number 1, Endorse. Did run the top last race speed figure at Gulfstream Park. More of a horse that likes to finish up the gimmicks. 1 win, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, but does have 3 nice workouts in between races. And finally, I'm going to key my bets around this horse, the 6 horse, Hammer Lane. Does have that early pace advantage through a half mile. So if it can hang on for 3 more furlongs, The horse has done well at Gulfstream Park. 4 times out, never off the board, 1 win, 2 seconds in a third. So likes the track. And on a fast track, 5 times out, 2 wins, 2 seconds in a third. This horse is 30-1 morning line odds. I think it's going to perform better than 31. Again, Pete, great friend, but not known as the best line maker. He'll admit it. And I'm going to do a $1 exact key box for Terry, so he knows what I'm talking about. With the 6, with the 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8, I'm hoping that 30-1 shot in here is the upset horse of the day and can come home first or second and make for a fat try exacta. That's the plan there for me, Charles.
Yeah.
That's what I actually look for when I'm looking through a card, a long shot that has a chance to get into the money or win, and I can put my bet around it. That way, if it actually hits, much like the 2-horse did last time we were at Gulfstream Park last week, it pays for the whole day in one bet.
Yeah, because you got your price horse on top.
The flipper is back flipper. Not quite sure what you mean by that, Rock and Ray, but you can perhaps fill us in on what you mean by that. Race number 8 is the second to last race. This is the one that you foreshadowed that you really like in here for a trifecta, Charles. 5 furlongs on the turf. Again, the turf is listed as good. 5 furlongs in the turf. They've only run 4 races so far. So far, Early Speed has won them all. Weirdly, post 2 and 3 and 8 and out have collected all of the wins in here, Charles. Early Speed is going to be plentiful, if I remember correctly, for race number 8. Because you have all of these horses here that are definitely going to get out to the front. And actually, when you look a little bit deeper, all of the horses have some, not all of them, but a lot of them, most of them have pretty similar Early Speed numbers. The 2 also eligible, scratched out. So this is a barbell race between the speed horses and the closers. I typically, in this situation, like the speed of the speed. Charles, what about you?
Well, normally I would, but I think there's plenty of speed in this race, which will set it up for these closers big time.
Will they have enough in 5 furlongs to get there, though?
I think so. I think they have enough speed to just hang on, stay close enough to get on them. And my first choice here is the 4-horse. This horse ran 3rd last time out in a grade 3, and got some solid works in there. Definitely has this the turf speed here. So I like this 4-horse a lot. But now my second choice is the 9. This one's another one that's kind of got that tactical, but more on the closing side. Second after a layoff, trainer gets 13%, which is Sweezy is Sweezy is the trainer. I think he's an excellent trainer down there. He's excellent. And then the 1-horse is my third choice. Horse definitely has some speed. Ran 2nd last time out. Jockey is an upgrade for this horse. And then the 3 is my price horse. If you want to call that my price horse with all these horses. The 3 has some speed. Toss out the last. He's 7 for 8 lifetime in the money. He tries turf for the first time. So Dan has 1 turf winner, and he cuts back in distance. Now, why I say this is my trifecta today, the 4 horses that's starting off at 10-1. The 9 is 20-1. The 1 is the favorite at 7-2. And then the 3, my price horse, is 5-1. So, I mean, if those 3 of those horses come in, especially if the 1 is on the 3rd spot or out, we're talking a nice payoff.
We're talking about, and Spanish is not my top language. It's not even my 5th language. I know a little bit of Spanish, but actually, we're likely to introduce some Spanish-speaking content in 2023. So all of our Venezuelan and Spanish-speaking watchers, part of our community, we should have some programming for you shortly. So we're looking at race number 8 right now. That's where we're at, Maro. Looking at this race, number 8, Mike Watkins is on a horse. Neither one of us. He really likes the 7-horse here. And if you look at Not Far Now, the 7-horse indeed is a horse that has a 32% chance to get to the lead. So this one could be your pace setter. Although you got a bunch of other horses in here that are likely to compete for that first spot when they hit the quarter-mile marker. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a fun race. But I'm going to start off with the 10-horse. So I do think the 10-horse is that lone EP horse. There's a wall of speed in front of him. Sit right behind him. has the top late pace and will use that late pace to go by him at the end. Did run some better early times in its last race and has a nice maintenance workout in between. I hope it doesn't screw up your trifecta box of the day. Number 2, King Cab. This one's likely to be one of the pace setters in here. Could be better in round 2 off of the bench in a bullet workout since that last race. Number 6, Roman Poet, got the maiden score in its debut race way back in the day on grass. I think it was its first race 8 races ago or something like that. Does have a closer's mentality and plenty of speed to chase in here. And then for me, it was a real tough call between that 9-horse Enabar and the 7-horse Mike's horse. I went with the 9-horse because if it can just run back to its 2-year-old form, could be really close to the lead and then move by him at the end. It has a couple of nice workouts in between races. So it was a real tough call for me. Your trifecta box is your 4 horses, I take it, Charles?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go 210, 6. Well, it should go 2, 6, 10. I should put them in order. 210 with the 2, 6, 7, 9, and 10. So I do have that 7 in there, Mike. And it is one that scares me. And I do feel like, Charles, you picked the right race today. This is the one where I feel like you could get a nice price in there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This race it's setting it up. At least it looks like it on paper that the favorite is definitely beatable, unlike when my 4 runs. And then, so I think it's set up for all these price horses.
All right, so let's get off to the last race at Gulfstream Park before you and I head off to our holiday break. I will be back tomorrow with Tom at, I think, our normal time, which is 1 o'clock Eastern, to cover Shot 10 out in Hong Kong. Be our last show before the Christmas holiday. So if you're going to, and from what Tom tells me, they put on a big show at Shot 10 on Christmas Eve. So it should be a good card. I'm looking forward to getting together with Tom. But before we do that, race number 9 is a maiden claiming, what else? $35,000 at 5 furlongs on the all-weather track. The type of horse that typically wins has some early speed. Post positions don't really seem to matter. If early speed is your thing, the 1 and the 5, according to our 1,000 simulations, are likely to be your pace setters. Looking at the simulated odds, this one also looks a pretty wide open race. None of them being really should be more than like 7 to 2 line odds. Yeah. I think you got a good chance to get a nice price here, a nice payout here as well. Our final look at the pace worksheet. Really every one of these horses should be in the early mix. We just don't know what the first time starters are going to bring, but all the horses that have been on the track already, their early pace numbers are similar. All of their late pace numbers are similar. We see that in the 1,000 simulations. Charles, how did you decide which one goes where in a race that looks highly competitive?
Yeah, well, I had to go with my top 2 picks as horses that have ran and have shown some speed. The one horse I think will be on the lead. IRAD's on him, drops in class. They add the blinkers. So I think they're wanting to get a little bit more focus out of this horse. So I think this could be your winner here. The 2 horse definitely has some of that tactical speed. He could sit second all the way around. Ran 3rd last time out. He cuts back in distance, so that's a plus. And then I'm going with a first-timer here, a 7 as my 3rd choice. Solid works. He's bred to sprint big time. Dam has 1 winner from 1 starter, so she's starting off good. And then my price horse here is the 6. This is your actually only winner in the whole race, but was DQ'd last time out. Mm-hmm. So he should be closing. Will it be enough in time? I don't know, but I do believe the top 2 horses are the ones you got to look at first.
Well, I'm going to go with that 8 horse first. It's the 3rd off the break, and it's the only true maiden special weight dropper in this field. So I know you say that's the biggest class drop in all the horse racing. We'll see if it benefits this horse today. Number 2, Mr. American, increased its speed figure in every race after its debut, which ended in the top last race speed figure last time out. And I also like the fact that it went 5.5 furlongs with better fractions than it did in the previous race at 5 furlongs. Number 1, Cosmic Speculation, should be involved from go to photo and has 15 furlongs of workout since its last effort. So this horse should be fit, firm, and ready to take advantage of that early speed. And then I'm going to close it out with the first-time starter, Blue Maverick. I think it's the best of the first-time starters. Charles, you don't have a bet here. I do. I'm going to do my 50-cent trifecta go-to bet. The 2 and the 8, I think they're the best two horses. Over the 1, 2, 8, over the 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 to complete my $100 challenge for the day. I know I spent a lot less than $100 in terms of what I did. Race number 1 is in the books. The 8 horse indeed won that race, Psychedelic. The second place horse was the 5. Oh, man, was my fourth place horse. And the 3 finished third. So had the right horses. Charles just didn't put the right one in second. So coming off race number 1, the right horses, that's the difficult part a lot of times, handicapping and then putting tickets together, which is the whole point of the $100 challenge, the $100 bankroll, and how we would allocate it towards a race, because by doing this, it's going to help us refine our wagering strategies, and we'll get better and better and better and better at it.
Yeah, and then like you said already a couple of times today, when you got a big favorite, and if you think you could beat him, then yeah, you play around him and you put him in, like in your trifectas, you put him second or third, and you use your other horses. But if you think your horse is unbeatable, and no matter what his price is, a winner's a winner, and just take it and go to the next. So
well, I
it
think
just
when you're looking
depends.
at that betting strategy, like you said, for me, either play against it or you only play it. You can't do both, I don't feel like. So in race number 9, Prognosticota Express Q-Night likes the 1 and the 8. Thank you. We appreciate that. And if you have picks, always Christmas tree in the middle, Rock and Ray. Oh, man. Do you know Rock and Ray, Charles, or no?
Rock and Ray, no, why?
I'm just
I don't know
curious.
who Rock and Ray is.
Yeah. Well, maybe you do, but you don't. I don't know, because
Maybe, yeah, maybe that could be more it. A
Ah,
Christmas tree in the middle. What does he mean there? Oh, maybe the colors.
maybe ugly sweater. I don't know. All
Ugly.
right, so here are our full card picks for the day at Gulfstream Park. Again, the first race is in. The 8 horse won. The second horse came in second. The 3 horse finished in third. I don't know if the fourth. Let's see. Did the 4 finish? Yes, indeed. The 4 horse indeed finished fourth. So we had the right 4 horses. Charles is putting them in the right order. Was the part we got wrong. Hopefully we got all the 4 horses today in the right order in the rest of the races today. If you haven't done so yet, bowl season is in full swing. There is a link down below to Professor Sides. He's a fantastic statistics professor in college. So he's got his models. They're working. Got to like that. And then the race a little later on tonight, if you're kind of sitting around wrapping presents, Delta Downs is a free track over at Gulfstream, over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You can find that in the link down below as well. So when you head on over there, please use the link in the description below to help you get over there, so they know where you're coming from. Finally, if you want to look great, like me, not like Charles.
Oh, geez.
And only because I have the horse racing today gear on, Charles. If you had the HRT gear on, you'd look fantastic. You can help support the show. There's a link down there below. Head on over there, get a horse racing today hat, a lucky number 13. You'll look great in brown as well with the horse racing number 13 in there. Race number 3, our friend Prognisto Express, 100%, he says. Take the 4 and the 6 in race number 3. Charles, let's go ahead and see if we have in race number 3 the 4 and the 6. I have the 4 and the 6. We just don't have it in that first order. You like that 4 on top? That's the one I'm getting out of here for sure.
Yeah. See, everyone's on my side here today.
Indeed. They should be, Charles. You need all the help you can get, my friend. All right. With that good cheer, Charles, it'll be the last time we get together until next week. So, man, I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. I know that it's going to be freezing cold where you are, but hopefully you stay indoors. A lot of fun, a lot of family, a lot of fantastic food, and that your holiday's fantastic.
Yeah, same to you and your family and everyone out there. Take care. Be safe. Remember, the storm's no joke. And please don't drink and drive, but still have fun.
And don't do any other things that are now currently legal that would impair your driving. Thank you, Scott Hunter. The best thing you can do, Scott, we appreciate you joining the show, spending your time with us on this holiday weekend. Make sure that if you haven't done so, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Tell your friends about us. But no matter what, if we don't see you tomorrow for Shot 10, the only thing I can say to everybody is Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful time with your family and friends. Enjoy the holidays. And of course, no matter what it is that you do, no matter what it is that you celebrate, we certainly hope it ends up in one place, Charles, and that can only be
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us on this Charles Trent Trifecta Thursday. And that 4-horse is going to get beat.
Oh, no, it ain't. He's gone. He's got it.